I've come to play Elden Ring. Please let me play Elden Ring. I guess I'll go back a little further into the character creation menu where I picked the prisoner class. You'd think this was just another normal playthrough, but we're talking about the multiverse of madness here. This wasn't just Elden Ring, but a complete enemy randomizer, which means instead of getting a grafted scion as a starter boss, I get a big freaking cat. Elden Ring, I've come to bargain. Now, naturally, the tutorial boss doesn't count. I mean, with the tiny FP bar I had, there was no way I could beat him magic only anyway. I was huffing copium, but boy did it feel good to be back on Elden Ring. Or maybe not. The spell I started the game with, and I'll be honest here, it's straight ass.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting.
With how I am right now, I don't even know if I could beat Rick. That's why I have 3 phases of this build planned out to melt anything in our way. Let's initiate phase 1. I call it, don't play with fire, because it is hot.
Well, no fucking shit.
By bypassing everything in Limgrave and heading straight to Liurnia, in a camp on the outskirts, I could pick up a spell tome created by the fire monks. Reading this would allow me to learn the secrets to fire incantations, but that requires money. That I don't have. Fuck capitalism. Instead of dragging this setup any longer, to get money, I first picked up a golden picklefoot, which increases my runes gained. I then headed to Grail the sleeping dragon to slap my balls in his face until he finally gave up that sweet stash he was holding. Try slap a PG rating on that one, Disney. I then proceeded to buy every flame incant, picked up flame grant me strength, a seal to cast, memory stones, and finally the crystal flame tier. I could now fight who I would normally say Margit, but in this case, Loretta. You know, before Night Rain I didn't really know Loretta's moveset that well. I only really fought her if I was heading to Rani, but now, I think I've fought her like 100 times in the past month. I am so warm on this boss, I feel like I know her inside and out. Preferably inside. Wait, what? I guess you also fight this version on the way to Melania, but I mean, I feel like you're so stacked that far into the game, she's just free runes, you know? Loretta, you have a much deeper voice than I imagined. This boss is like the appetizer for the absolute horrors you're about to go through in the Erdtree. Yeah, I back that. Catch Flame, by the way, probably one of the best incants in the game. Even after the nerf it had, it still puts in so much work. Like, if I was going to compare this to the others, Flame Sling is decent. And then you have Sergio Flame, which is, well, I'll let it speak for itself. GG's. Very close to a first try hitless. Your boy is kinda good at this game now. That's why we only had some small changes before our second boss. Now that Stormvale Castle was unlocked,
The gates! Open the gates!
I could pick up the Godslayer seal, along with Black Flame. I also picked up my very first talisman, the Faithful's Canvas. Now we fight Godric. I mean, Renala? Yes! There's nothing like punching some kids in the face and then spit roasting their mother. Freest win of my life. Somebody get this woman a career change. And I have a slight hunch on what Miyazaki would want that to be. Speaking of job, mine can be defined as...
What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
But he definitely had more variety than that. That's why I'm choosing only the best incants from each phase of the builds, starting with Catch Flame and Black Flame. Phase 2 begins, and it will shock you. The next spell tome, the Dragon Cult Prayer Book, which I borrow from a knight after he fell asleep inside the Knowledge of Lightning Spear. This is a juicy one, alright. My third eye is tingling at the sight of it, and I'm not talking about the one on my head. Huh? I also wanted to go back to my roots. That's why I took Torrent to the Windmill Pasture. It was time to pick up the Twin Swords. Ignoring that, real ones will know that the Ash of War I'm about to put on this is a reference that has stuck with me for the last year and a half. The spin to win. Remember, like, I don't know, 2 minutes ago, when I said, your boy is kinda good at this game now? Yeah, well, this is Elden Ring. They don't give a shit. I just wish it took me out to dinner first, because I like to be wined and dined before I'm fucked. Radagon. Oh boy. Who am I kidding? I love this boss. Yeah, I don't even like this boss. Okay, let me actually lock in. I can't be out here wasting peak fight potential. I'm gonna try my absolute hardest to pull this spin Ash of War off, but this is a pretty fast-paced fight, so I might have to leave it up to Catch Flame again. I promise this build has variety. It just might take a minute. Oh, okay, potential. We should be able to use it here. Hey, that's not bad. It's not good either, but we can definitely find a use for it. I think. Radagon of Radagon? That's crazy. Bro just cut out Marika. Based. Our next boss is special. Our first two-phase fight of the entire run. A make or break. Godfrey, a mighty challenger. And then we get into the dreaded Valiant Gargoyle. Suffering builds character. Suffering builds character, it does. Builds character, suffering does, it does. Suffering builds character. I wanted to show off the spin to win, but every single opponent this game gave me was way too fierce. But it's fine, because I can also go fuck my... What made this fight so difficult was my tiny FP bar. I mean, ladies, massive FP bar. My health wasn't looking much better. I had 2 Estus to heal, the rest had to go to FP. And since I'd almost get one-shot by every single attack, this meant throughout the entire thing, I could only get hit a total of 3 times. There were 3 bosses, and I had 3 hits. Seems easy enough to me. I shifted from reality to find that 1 in 6 million chance where I beat this boss. Yes! That was a feisty duo, alright. By the end of it, I ran out of everything, so I had to use my weapon for the last couple of hits. We're only in Liurnia and it's throwing that at me. I am terrified of what's to come. That's why I need to start getting this build on its feet. I don't know about you, but I'm supposed to be a wizard of the mystic arts. not a male escort back in the medieval era. I was missing my famous cloak, trapped behind a building in the city of Lanedell. To enter, I found 2 pieces of a lift medallion, which granted me access to altars. Here, a falling star beast was waiting for me. Normally an extremely difficult boss to beat, but that's if you're a melee build. I had the perfect counter. I love these incantations. Yeah, they're not all super OP, sure, but they all have their own scenarios they're really good at. Well, that's just the base game ones anyway. The DLC incantations? Absolutely busted. I mean, all we have to do is wait for the charge, and it's pretty much GG. Nap time, my friend. That is a baller way to kill that guy. I was now finally free to pick up my armor. Along with it, my next talisman, the ritual sword. Demi-human troll? Oh, it's so free. And we get the poise break. You just love to see it. Fighting the ritual sword boss is always so fun. It actually makes me look like I know what I'm doing. And since this is all this place had to offer, I wasted no time and took on its ruler, the Godskin Noble. Now, I'ma be honest, this was one messy ass fight. Because of his phase transition, and let's be real here, how AIDS it is. He doesn't stop! Jesus Christ, my boy got some wheels. I decided to make a slight detour and grab some sleep pots. This way I could finally have some fun and utilize the spinning weapon Ash of War. Because at this point, I've invested way too much time into it, and I'm too stubborn to admit how much of a terrible idea that was. Trust me, I'm doing you all a favor by editing this out, because it was pain. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. And since I'm doing you a solid, maybe you could do the same and subscribe. It's free. Why not, right? Let's go! Easy first try. With this section ended, we have our third phase. I call it because these spells make me want to end it all. The Briars of Sin, just like it's a sin to not be in my Discord. The Briars of Punishment, when the goth girl doesn't agree to peg you. And an actual good spell, Great Blade Phalanx. This will hopefully break the poise of all these bosses, so we can get some free hits in. I'm saving the best weapon for last. A weapon so cool, even Thanos struggled with it. To unlock it, I had to get the Remembrance of the Fire Giant. Or in this case, the Remembrance of Radahn. I probably spent way too much time trying to get the stats and gear for this stuff. And was it worth it? No comment. I mean, it could be worse. At least it's not Consort Radahn. Okay, finally. It's been like 15 attempts and I've been stuck on phase 1. We get to see phase 2, Elden Beast. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I ran out of FP again. This was a god-awful duo fight, so honestly, I'm pretending like it never happened. But what this did mean is I could trade the Remembrance for the Red Braid Whip. I feel slightly racist, I can't lie. But check this out. That is so badass. This is a heavy hitter. So let's max this thing out to see those big numbers we all love. Golden Vow. Fire Scorpion Charm. Alexander's Jar Shard. Fire Tier. And the Opaline Bubble Tier. I took Torrent to the Forge of the Giants and entered Farum. Normally a pair of foreskins waiting, but this time, Fear's champions. Low-key a really bad matchup. For them, I mean. The constant stun lock this thing has, so good. We do have Lionel in the third phase who might cause some trouble, but besides from that, should be a pretty easy fight. Oh yeah. You're not the Sorcerer Supreme, buddy. That's me, baby. That last clip? Yeah, that was 25 minutes ago. Things have escalated. Whoa, that's a lot of scope. These guys are ferocious as hell. We don't have a huge arena like normal, so you just pray they don't one-shot you. We finally avoid a Godskin duo, and instead, we get a spear guy, a wizard, and then all three. God damn it, it might be even worse. More enemies doesn't mean more fun. Just like bigger doesn't mean better. That's why when the game threw a massive snake at me, I abused it by throwing wind in its face. Our second phase, Renala the Black Blade. Wind wouldn't work here, but I'd be happy if she blew me. I'm getting off track. I pulled my whip out. God damn it. I just realized how that sounded. I'm going to stop talking now, before I get myself into trouble. And there she is. You know, if every two-phase boss fight could be like that, then maybe my hairline wouldn't be receding as much. Endgame approached. The DLC was in sight, which was a coincidence, because my next boss was none other than Morg. Now, is it the fake Morg? Or are we gonna get Morg-lested by the real one? No, I don't think I can put bleed on this Ash of War, so I did settle for cold. I ended up getting the shackle too. Prime spin boss right here. Ow. Damn, he's just about quick enough, I think. He's almost a prime spin boss. Almost. That's so close. He's like a second too fast for me to pull this thing off. GG's. I think it's time we hit up the DLC. Wait a minute. What am I doing? This guy's a phantom. He can't bleed. A great boss to test spells on, but maybe not the Thorn, since he's dead inside and yeah, they can't do much against that. Dead inside, he just like me for real. Clean! Oh my god! My boy is getting clipped. Also, I love how we finally have a Lord of Blood who's immune to bleed damage. I see this as an absolute win. Easy, boss. I wasn't worried in the slightest.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
It was time to elevate this build to new heights. To do so, I was going to have to step into the shadow of the Erdtree.
Bands to the red side. She pull out with a friend and I'm on it like a red dot. I got my sights on a headshot. Yeah, stretching out a man, let a leg drip. Both sides, switched up out of blue, yeah, she played both sides.
Now that we're in the DLC, I can get an upgrade to every single spell and incantation I have in my inventory. I'll basically be a David Blaine level of wizard by the time we get all of this stuff. Let's start with our first, the multi-layered Ring of Light. Now that was all the way over in the stone coughing fissure, so I had to take out Earth's newest threat to get there. Okay, maybe threat was the wrong choice of wording here. He's the world's slightest inconvenience. I mean, it's 3 runes. I'm taking it. This incantation right here carried me through multiple runs. And I'm hoping it does that shit again. Let's go. Next we have the Knight's Lightning Spear, which I quickly got the chance to use. Oh yeah, this is also busted, by the way. Following this was the Pest Thread Spears, because we're friends with Spider-Man, I guess.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Yet another broken incantation, by the way. Fire Serpent. And last, but definitely not least, Impenetrable Thorns. Real ones will also remember how busted these things were in the first patch. And you might have noticed the theme I'm going for. All the crazy good items to carry me through the DLC. Let me show you what I mean. Against our first main boss of the DLC, the Divine Beast, Dancing Shadow Tree Avatar. God damn, that's a mouthful. Try say that 5 times fast. Anyway, there goes phase 1. It might be ropes for my boy. I mean, he is a piece of bark, and I do have a fire sniper, so this boss is not gonna have a fun time. This thing tracks so well, look at that. Just honing in on his face. And that's second phase done. Now we get to the fun part, where bro explodes all over me. Pause. You know what I meant. Nicely done. We take those all day. These bosses were about to be light work, but getting to them, that's a completely different story. Wait, is that not a skip anymore? I swear I used to do this all the time. There's no way they'd take it out, right? Okay, one more attempt. One more attempt. I knew it! I knew there was a way! 3 attempts to get a basic skip. Am I washed? Yes, just like the mage, Gideon. The Sorcerer Supreme versus an old man who can't keep up. I'll let you decide who is who. Honestly, Gideon deserves this cheese. He's always been a thorn in my side. I'm gonna kill my... This is literally 0 skill. I love this game. And it gets even better, because now we get to try out the Goon Threads. Oh my god, these things are so good. We suffered in base game, but we finally made it, boys. Who do we have for phase 2? Oh, fuck. The randomizer is broken. Good news, I can fix it so we don't get any more duplicate bosses. But I do have to keep this one the same, just so I don't mess anything else up. No way I died to this boss. God damn it, and I gotta leave it in. Because it's funny. I can't believe I'm saying this. Technically, this is the hardest boss I've fought in the DLC, since I've died to it the most. Well, this and Gravity. That is so tragic. Things have been pretty simple so far, but just when you think you're good, the game hits you with promised consort redemption. The first boss, who made me, well, let's just say, not very happy. There's no shot he just does that to me. What the fuck? I actually quite like this boss, but Miquella's stupid ass hair? Yeah, no. I can't see anything with this femboy looking ass in my ear. I've spent the entire video sounding like a broken track record, saying how good all of these incants and spells in the DLC were. So it was only right I get hit with the irony stick by having to revert to old reliable Catch Flame. If in doubt, Catch Flame it out. Never forget your roots, boys. I should have treated you better, Catch Flame. GG's! That was the ultimate lock-in. I don't think I said a single word that entire fight. The best thing about randomizers is it just gets more chaotic as we go. So just watch what hits me next. Mr. Bale. I'm not one to fat shame, but you are way too big for this arena, my boy. Fat fuck. We do have the Spider-Man webs, which work absolute wonders on the bigger bosses. But Phase 2 terrifies me. Okay, now we run. We pray he doesn't nuke our ass in absolute cinema fashion. Oh boy, that's not good. Oh, but that is... I couldn't see what was happening. But we win. Let's freaking go. If Bale was here, it had me curious. Who took his spot atop the mountains? I decided to investigate, and it was none other than Romina. I mean, it would be rude not to summon Egon, right? Romina in Bale's arena, Bale's in Romina's. Seems about right.
I vow you will rue this day with every last drop of my being.
I've been calling her Romina, but what I should say is Scorpion. Oh shit, wait. Wrong show, that's Spider-Man, right? I'm really grasping at straws here. I ran out of funny things to say like 25 minutes ago. Nice. Big damage. That's it, Egon. Show her what you're made of. We'll double team her together. And GG. Nope. Okay, never mind. No, GG. Okay. She's burning up a fight, apparently. Now we win. Yeah, she does not want me to have this. Am I blind? How are you still alive? There is no way that just happened. Wait, Egon! Yes! With the clutch up! My frickin' goat! I burnt the shadow tree to the ground. I walked the path of salvation on top.
No, mother. Forgive me.
I'm tearing away. Pieces are falling, I can't seem to make them stay.
Soon, tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the jaws of the abysmal serpent shorn of life?
Second phase, who we got? Gaius the Hog Rider. Two great bosses to finish this. Let's go! DLC is done. But don't forget, we still have the final boss in the base game to get to. Could it be Melania, Malekith, Fire Giant? It was Fire Giant. And not the nice phase 1, but the phase 2 that has the worst hitboxes. You know, if Thanos didn't take away that time stone, I'd be abusing that thing right now. Changing it so the randomizer gives me a good final boss, and not Angry Ginge.
If you can't shove a carrot up your ass, what's the point? It's a thinker.
I mean, Pest Threads do be putting in some good work though. And for the finale, the final boss of the entire game, who do we get? A freaking lizard. Pest Threads are about to ruin this guy's day. I absolutely annihilated the final boss. Became Elden Lord and beat the game as